Is DBD survivor sided? 5 months ago, so it's recent. More recent than the last video I made. I feel miserable playing against the survive with friends with the insta gen popping, the body blocking, the overall coordinated plays that can be used against you, etc. So he's asking a question, but saying that it is survivor sided for him. DBD is big percentage survivor side because being 4 people versus 1 C or VRvers cry 4 times as much, so they get a casual / easy game like they want, while the killer has to struggle with number of safe pallets and 4 gen going in 3 minutes, and survivors still have no dignity and still complain. Holy bro, this guy 2 months ago, no way saying that recently. That's absolutely absurd. I haven't even played the game recently, to be honest, but come on, bro. You're better than this. Game has always been survive with friends, killer, and solo. I think this is completely correct, to be honest. Depends on a lot of things, but I think overall, yes, it is survivor-sided. Okay? Nope, it's pretty skill-based. If you're good regardless of which side you play. But this guy's staying in the neutral. I respect it. I'm starting to hit high MMR. I had a few mega sweaty games today, and so here are my tips. Bro, you're giving tips, bro? Ain't nobody reading your tips, dude. Unfortunately, DBD is heavily survivor-sided in these instances. Once survive with friends, take full advantage. I agree. If you're getting 4-manned, and like, they're all... and you're just a casual killer, a casual player, you're not like some pro, then you're screwed. Because it's a 4v1, and they're using max items and everything against you, and you're just one dude. Like, you trap her with like 3 traps on the ground, one little machete. It's like doesn't really work. Survivor sided unless you play the best killers with the best perks. Valid opinion. It's asshole sided. The one playing with the most meta wins. That's pretty based. That's a based take. 6,000 hours survivor main, and I think it's survivor sided. Based. Well, we know why he's playing it now. So this is just everyone saying if it's a swift and it's high MMR, then it's survivor sided. Anything else, it's killer sided. So is Survivor too strong now, February 2023? Sure, solo queue is more bearable now, but killer also now is essentially dealing with swift levels of information from the survivors every match. So this guy's saying it's not too strong now. And killers really aren't, because this is not the thing that makes survivors or survive with friends strong. Survivor has been too strong for years. In the average game where survivors play bad, no, they're fine. Objectively though, yes, they're way too strong. So it seems like everyone just has the same opinion. Like, it wasn't for the killers ROP video. People had like more varied opinions. But I mean, I guess it's pretty obvious when it's a 4v1, you know? People are always going to side with the 4 being overpowered. To answer your question from the perspective as a killer, and Survivor, Survivor is definitely not OP. The recent balance change, okay, so it's 2023 in March, so the recent balance change they made was actually way more in favor of killers than anything. And I'd argue killers are incredibly strong, if not OP now. If you are not getting kills, you are probably not very experienced with your killer, struggle with tactics, or not efficient with mind gaming. Sheesh. What it boils down to, and some of you have said it yourselves, is time played in the game. It has nothing to do with strong perks and everything to do with the amount of time, experience someone has in the game. If you cannot catch a survivor, you need to move on and find the weakest link. That good player will usually fall apart because of their weak link. Mans, bro. He's spitting. He's spitting, that's for sure. The old meta builds, Survive with Friends, Dead Hard, Decisive Strike, Borrow Time, and Unbreakable, bro. This was peak gameplay for me, bro. Like, around this time. Maybe when Self-Care was, like, peak. That was my favorite time to play both Killer and Survivor. That just was my favorite time to just play the game, to be honest. And then, like, they threw in everything after Legion. That's all I'm going to say. Run those same perks outside of a Swift and it crumbles because you have 0 information. That's true unless you're, like, a really good, like, solo survivor. Like, you'll see a bunch of people using, like, similar perks to these and still winning. Just because they can loop, they can actually survive. But also, that is just based on the killer being worse. If it's equal skill with the survivor and the killer, then eventually the killer will get the survivor because that's how the game's supposed to be played. But if the survivor is a greater skill than the killer, then the survivor could just never be caught. And then this guy talks about stream sniping. Yeah, I'm not reading that. And then any more of that. Just yapping. Move on to the next one. This is unbelievable how this game has become survivor-sided. Basically, to sum up this guy's post, he just says, Survivor OP, killer have to tunnel, and you have to hook everyone 12 times. Killer need gen regression perk. That's pretty much it, you know? Like, he kind of just yapped. I've only been playing for 2 years, so become survivor-sided. Throughout the years, the game has become more and more killer-sided, and that's not an opinion, that's a fact. There is no doubt in my mind killer is the easiest it's ever been. Now before you freak out, am I saying killer is easy? No. And it'll almost always be the harder role simply because you have 4 other people to worry about, but compared to what we used to deal with, killer nowadays is nothing. That being said, killer is nowhere near as hard as some make it out to be. Sure it's no kids game, but it's no damage run, or it's no damage run Dark Souls either. Well, I'm sorry, I can't agree on that. I've been playing for 2 years, and yet I don't see a real difference from 2 years prior. Either that it's on killer perks, tool, etc., or survivor side. And I see a real difference on the type of players winning the game. I used to lose only to good loopers, good team. Now it's easily noticeable that when players unable to loop, just holding W from one pallet to another. Nah, man. Most survivors aren't good and win games so easily nowadays. Gens go way too fast. There are way too many ways to counter killers. If you can't acknowledge that killer have to sweat every single game to stand even a chance like compared to survivors, either blindfolded and live and deny, so he didn't even give another option for the either. Anyways, this is hilarious, bro. Only thing I read, I need a break from DBD. Facts. 3 years ago. Our survivors OP. Pretty new, but like genuinely. Okay, let's read the meta-wise. The pool of perks is reasonably small for both sides. Majority of the perks on both sides are either for niche situations or genuinely useless. That's bullshit, bro. They all have perks and pallets and like 100 ways to escape, while killers have their knife and hopes and dreams, bro. It's 3 years ago, so I'm assuming his opinion changes, or has changed now, or he just stopped playing the game. Besides survive with friends, the game is fair enough. Obviously the game is survivor-sided, but not so much that I would call it unfair. Survive with friends, however, is disgustingly unfair and unfun. Just get better, the game is survivor-sided. How is the game survivor-sided when you're winning 90% of your matches? Because matchmaking does a horrible job. It's been so long since I've won a match. I was at rank 8 and got knocked all the way down to 13 and 14 because Survivor have the most OP perk and tool and only gen rush. Killer in solo queue, overpowered. Killer in swift, underpowered. Facts? Bro, not even. I can't even get one hook without there being 2 gens done. I'm just saying that there's a reason why Noob 3 has only gotten 150 escape streak and Outstarver has a 50 win kill streak on every killer.